Thank you so much, Master Toastmaster. Today, I will be evaluating Anouk's speech on persuasive speaking. And it is out of the Pathways Presentation Mastery portion of the program. The purpose of this project is for Anouk to persuade us in his speech and delivering this persuasive speech in an enigmatic way. And his speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thanks, Sterling. All right. Anouk has been a fan of Formula One for a long time now, having already converted a few people to Formula One-ism. His goal with this speech today is to create intrigue. He wants to be an enigma around the sport, so much so that we will be compelled to watch it. Please help me welcome Anouk with his speech titled F Forever #1. Over to you, Anouk.
Thank you, Christian. Give me 1 second.
Yep, we did see it, but it went away.
Oh, okay, we're good. Okay. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Before I begin, here's a quick F1 snippet that I want to play for y'all.
And he's got a better exit. Hamilton with a much better exit down to turn 4. I said it's a third time lucky. Hamilton pulls ahead of Verstappen before they get to the corner. The crowd go absolutely wild. It is third time lucky for Lewis Hamilton. He was 20th and last on the grid for the sprint. Here on lap 59 of the Grand Prix, he has gone from last all the way to first.
Awesome. So what you guys watched was an absolute masterclass. The video shows Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, overtaking Max Verstappen at the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo. After Lewis overtook Max, he went on to win the race, won the following 2 races, but unfortunately he lost the final race in Abu Dhabi to Max Verstappen, and by doing so he lost the world championship. Given that I really want you all to watch Formula One, here are some cool facts about the sport that will excite you. Let's get into it. Okay, so what is F1? Oopsie. F1 is the pinnacle of racing, just like NASCAR, just like IndyCar. These drivers clock speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. The level of skill required to operate a vehicle is absolutely astonishing. Just look at that steering wheel. You try meddling with that, driving at 200 miles per hour on roads like this. Oy vey. 10 teams in F1. Teams are referred to as constructors in F1 terminology, and each constructor has 2 drivers, 20 drivers in total. The top teams in Formula One are Red Bull Racing and Mercedes. 20 races per season. Season starts in March, ends in December, about 9 months. Races take place on 5 out of the 7 continents. Countries include Italy, Germany, France, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. They have 2 races in the US, one in Austin, Texas at the Circuit of the Americas circuit. Bam. And one in Miami, Florida, which F1 just got the rights for. The most decorated driver is Lewis freaking Hamilton. 7 world titles, 103 race wins, and 103 pole positions. I'll explain what a pole position is shortly. And Liberty Media purchased F1 in Jan 2017. Why is this significant? Liberty Media is headquartered in Denver, Colorado. Let's go. F1 locations. I mentioned Spielberg, Austria, because I knew Neela was going to be on the call today, so hopefully she gets a kick out of that. And then Baku, Azerbaijan. Okay. So we have Monte Carlo, Monaco. And then we have Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. So race week begins on Friday with the practice sessions. We have P1, P2, P3. Each session is 90 minutes long, with 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday. Drivers use the time to get a feel for the circuit. They also use the time to understand the different tire compounds. So the first one, softs, red, mediums, yellow, whites are the hards, green, intermediate, and blue are the wets. The first 3 are used in more of a dry setting, and the last 2 are used in wetter conditions. Given that most of the races do take place in more of a dry setting, the first 3 are the more commonly used ones. Softs gives the driver the most amount of speed, but they're the least durable. The hards, the white one, gives the driver the least amount of speed, but they're the most durable. On Saturday afternoon, we have qualifying. The purpose of qualifying is to set the fastest lap time possible. A lap is essentially going around the track just one time. So there are 3 qualifying sessions. We have Q1, Q2, Q3. All 20 drivers enter into Q1. The fastest 15 enter into Q2, and the fastest 10 enter into Q3. The fastest time in Q3 starts the race in pole position. So you guys can see the starting grid, pole positions first place, and the slowest times in last place. Interesting fact, the top 10 start the race using the tires they qualified on in Q2. What does that mean? So if Lewis Hamilton were to get through Q2 on the mediums and then set the fastest time in Q3 on the softs, he'd start the race in pole position on the mediums, if that makes sense. Race day. So the drivers start from that grid, from starting grid, and they're required to make at least 1 pit stop during the race. Pit stops are normally 20 to 25 seconds long. And during that pit stop, they must change to a different tire compound. So if you're on the mediums, you change to the softs or the hards, for instance. The winner gets 25 points, second place gets 18 points, third place gets 15 points. The top 3 get on the podium, and it is F1 tradition to spray each other with champagne at the end of the podium winners. At least this picture shows Pierre Gasly, so the guy in white. He drives for AlphaTauri, French driver. This was his first race win at the Italian Grand Prix of 2020. Let's go. Season winners. The driver with the most points at the end wins the Drivers' Championship. This year, that was Max Verstappen, the Dutch driver of Red Bull Racing. And the constructor with the most points at the end of the season wins the Constructors' Championship. So that's the points of driver number 1 plus the points of driver number 2. This year, that was Mercedes. Why should you watch F1? Given its worldwide popularity, you're bound to meet people anywhere you go who are huge fans. Worldwide appeal equals conversation starter. Go make a new friend today. Pure entertainment. There's never a dull moment. Word of caution, I find myself screaming at the TV on multiple occasions. You know, I get very aggressive, and I'm quite a mellow person, so you do the math on that. Vacation ideas, not sure where to go next. F1's got you covered. I think it'll be amazing to go and visit Azerbaijan and Austria, for instance. And finally, ego boost. F1's all about strategy. I get a huge kick trying to figure out what teams are going to do, you know, when they're going to pit, who's going to pit, what tire compound they're going to pit to. Nothing like figuring out exactly what each team's going to do and being right about it. It's a sort of ego boost I need to start my day. There you have it. All the reasons you need to watch Formula One. The first race is going to be on March 20th in Bahrain, and you can watch it on ESPN. I know what I'm going to be doing on that day. So please join me for the greatest experience of your life. Now go watch Formula One. Let's go.